Gee! Whoa! There's some fast puppies. Now, don't embarrass me. You see those 10 dogs out there, right? Yeah. Okay, I feel better. Throughout time, many things get kind of in the shadows or even forgotten. The Nome Serum Run of 1925 is one of those. They were in destitute need of diphtheria serum. And so they were waiting how to get it there. Such severe weather just crippled the technologies of the day. The airplanes, the trains, even with snowblowers, couldn't get there. So they had to come up with what they could do to restore this hope. They came up with the idea, old school, 20 dog teams to relay this 20-pound package of diphtheria antitoxin to Nome. This was quite a daunting task. And the reason for that is because it was 20 teams, a 6-day run, 127 hours, 644 miles to get a 20-pound package of diphtheria antitoxin to Nome. They just weren't sure what's going to happen. But Gunnar Kaasen drives into Nome, Alaska. Of course, the glitz, all the flashes, everything else. The sled dogs have saved Nome, Alaska. Old school stuff. Now, one of the backstories that isn't really told too much, more so today, is Leonard Seppala. He ran 90 miles of that 644, and it was 2 legs because the weather was so bad that he missed his handoff. He drove across the Bering Straits while it was frozen instead of around the land because it saves a day. But him and his team could have sunk into the Bering Straits, cracking through the ice. But the dogs always get us through. They feel and sense things that we cannot. Back in the late 60s, Joe Redington Sr. and Dorothy Page had a dream. Sled dogs were such a part of Alaskan history that they wanted to memorialize it in some manner. The Gold Rush days are also part of it. They got around by sled dog. So they were an integral part, not just for gold, but survival. And so they came up with this idea of the Iditarod. The original run was from Nenana to Nome, Alaska, which is the blue line behind me. Current day, there's 2 of them, which is the Iditarod trails, which are nationally recognized trails. So in 73, the Iditarod was born. It's 1,049 miles. Roughly, it's 1,000 miles. And people say, what's this 49th thing? The 49th state to recognize Alaska. So they're out there on this trail for 1,000 miles. They're carrying food, they're carrying water, they're carrying emergency supplies. This is a racing sled. They're using actually freight sleds. So it's a little different scenario. There are mandatory vet checks for the dogs. In fact, these dogs are actually fed better than most people. During the winter when they're working, they get higher proteins, higher fats because they need the energy. There's mandatory layovers for the drivers and the dogs to make sure that nobody is pushed to the limit. And you can see beds of straw that the dogs are on. They're treated like kings in so many ways. No, they don't get to come in the house. But Junior Iditarod in 1978 came out, and that's for youths 14 to 17. Everyone that finishes that race will earn some type of a scholarship, and there's many other awards. It's 150 miles that these youngsters are running, so it's quite a feat that they're dealing with. One of the awards is the blue harness, which is the best lead dog of the group. It's voted on by the drivers. And these dogs love to run. There's many people, why do you push them so hard? No, we ain't pushing them at all. They want to run. Plus they get to wear these Prada feet thingies, nice colors. Now, Ellen Redington, which is the granddaughter of Joe Redington Sr., she's run the Junior Iditarod. She's written about 3, I think maybe 4 books. North to Nome is about the Iditarod in itself, or the Nome Serum Run. Why am I so interested in this? I used to race competitively for 15 years. I'm there on your would be your left, and that cute little kid, which is out in the audience there, Faith. She's about 40 years older now. And in closing, I'd like to thank the Reddingtons for having a vision to preserve the history of Alaska, the sled dogs. And as a special note, my Uncle Jim, which got me into sled dog racing, but he has also been a volunteer on the Junior Iditarod since its inception. So without those people, this commemorative run would not be what it is today. So look out there. There's all sorts of things to volunteer for and help things and remember the past. Look to our elders. There's a lot to be learned there. Thank you so much and have a great day. G-Come!